Marvel and Dr. Seuss. Two styles that I think are both very cool in their own way, but also they're very different, as you can tell. So I decided to take both of them and just... Now a long time ago, about a year ago, did something very similar to this. I decided to do it again, but this time in a slightly different way. So basically, what I'm going to do that's different this time is instead of taking a Marvel character and drawing him in a Dr. Seuss style, and then vice versa with the Dr. Seuss character, I'm just going to be taking a Marvel character and a Dr. Seuss character, and I'm going to just mash them together, and we're just going to see how that turns out. Yeah, it's the first time I've ever really done anything like this, and it's going to be on a pretty big piece of paper, because I'm on a kick of that lately. To be specific, it's gonna be on a piece of paper this big. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. So what is it? What characters am I gonna do? Well, I'm glad you asked. So for Dr. Seuss, I'm doing the man, the myth, the legend, the Lorax. It's pretty awesome. And then for Marvel, I decided to go with a character that I'm pretty familiar with, to balance out the fact that I don't know how to draw the Lorax, so I went with the Hulk. I don't know why I chose that picture. Now join me if you dare as I Frankenstein these two totally unrelated characters to each other. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm doing it anyway. So I started out doing a kind of normal Hulk-looking sketch, and then later on I started layering on the details that made it look more Loraxy. So yeah, it looks good, it looks normal right now, but later on it really starts to get pretty whack. So stick around for that. But for now, just enjoy what we have before it gets weirder, because it definitely gets a lot weirder. These two characters were not made to be put together. Alright, so now I'm kind of at a point where I can start adding more details. I have like the whole of it is kind of like I have a feel for what it's going to look like. But now I can start doing details. And this is the wacky part. And wacky it was. I started out by changing his hands to look more like Lorax hands, which was the beginning of me using the fur textures. But as I kept adding the Lorax features, I kept noticing it didn't really look like the Lorax. So, as you can probably tell, I mean, the anatomy looks good, and, you know, I'm confident about this, but it looks really weird. It doesn't really look like the Lorax. So I decided to go ahead and pull up a reference picture here of the Lorax. And as you can tell, there's definitely some changes I need to make. So I'd say that was a smart move, but yeah, let's get back to it. Now with my reference picture, I went through fixing everything that needed to be fixed. Now you can sit back, relax, grab a popcorn if you want, and yeah, just enjoy. You know how I've been talking about it's gonna get weird? Well, this is it. Hello! I'm not done talking yet, but as I was drawing this picture, I got an idea, and it was kind of risky, and I was kind of afraid to do it, I guess just out of fear of the fact that this picture is already weird as it is, and I didn't want to do something that might make it too confusing to look at, I guess, but I decided to go for it, and basically it has to do with like the fur that I put on him, because obviously the Lorax is furry, so I didn't just want to leave it like normal Hulk skin. So I wanted to have it look more furry, and so I decided to go for it. and I think it ended up looking cool. Tell me in the comments what you guys think. But without any further ado, basically this is the fur texture I decided to go for. But that's all. I'm gonna leave you. For now. So let's talk about his face. I'm pretty happy with his face. It looks pretty close to a Lorax face. I mean, come on. It kind of is done in sort of a Marvel comic book kind of style, which I like. And he looks a little mean, but he also kind of looks like he's smiling. So I just like it. I think this turned out good, but when I first did the line work for it, it didn't really work with the rest of the picture because it didn't put in enough shading or enough of the fur texture, so I had to go back over it and do the fur texture. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then we'll be done. One last look. Here it is in all of its glory. Yeah, definitely didn't need to do that, but I don't regret doing it. And really quickly before we leave this video, my last video, for those of you who don't know, I said if that video gets 10 likes and 50 views, I will do something really cool. So if you want to know what that is, make sure to click the link down below to that video or somewhere on the screen. That video has already gotten 10 likes, it just needs to get 50 views, so make sure to watch it. I promise you will not regret it. But yeah, what are you doing, Stanley? Stanley, do the outro. Okay, bye.